Oh, here we go. Little conversation about the lover archetype. This is episode 2000, close to 100. Let's see, 90 days. Yeah, close to 100 something. I'll have to figure that out. So let's see here. So the lover archetype. This is not one most people have a tendency to tune into. The lover is a very valuable tool. It represents the energy of connection, right? How you connect is based upon your lover warranty system. Your lover belief system is how you connect. Standoffish, arms reach away, never let anybody get close, or just absolutely fall in love with everybody the very first time, and don't see some things, or maybe put some things there that aren't really there, and we get disturbed later on. We get hurt later on. It's about intimacy. It's about passion. It's about devotion, right? And this is even how we relate to strategies of our life, meaning how we show up to do things in our world. Does that make sense? It governs our ability to receive love. So you may think you're this all loving, great piece of energy and universal source, and yet you don't receive love. You won't accept love. You won't allow love to show up for you. And this is to be able to, the lover allows you to experience life fully, right? And to create a deep emotional bond with others and ourselves. So when fully active, the lover brings joy, creativity, sensitivity, right? This sense of belonging. So when you meet somebody and they're struggling to connect, they seem a little cold, their lover hasn't been fully activated, if you will. Most people struggle very much. Like, most people operate out of their warrior, right? The wounded warrior, the empowered warrior, the shadow warrior, the disempowered warrior, they operate out of this battle. Everything's a fight. Most people don't even know about the archetype called the lover. Many people experience emotional wounds, cultural conditioning. You could say the Irish are loving. They're just outgoing. There's a lot of people I know who are Irish who don't necessarily love. They're outgoing, they're emotional, but there's this disconnect. Does that make sense? You probably know some people like that. Some people who, they just seem like they're on top of the world, but yet they're alone. They don't really have anybody in their life. It's because of their lover. It really is. So maybe it's past betrayals that block you from this full state of stepping into your lover's power. The challenge with operating from the lover is fear of vulnerability. Many associate love with pain and prefer to guard their hearts. That makes sense what I'm talking about? There's attachment issues. Some crave love so intensely that they become obsessive or dependent. Maybe when they find somebody who finally gives them some recognition, they won't let them go. And that creates some challenges, right? They become obsessive. They become all consuming. And there's a big disconnection from self-love. Many seek love externally. And by seeking love externally, we don't ever really get a chance to love ourselves first. Some people have never really loved themselves. All the love they've ever had was external in nature. It's why, if you pay attention, we know some friends, we have some friends, I'm sure I have some friends, maybe you have some friends, where that particular individual keeps getting into bad relationship after bad relationship after bad relationship after bad relationship. That's an external desire. It's an external need for recognition and for love. There's this fear of intimacy. Deep love requires being seen fully, which can trigger unprocessed wounds, right? Speak from the scars, not the wounds. Paulo Coelho, in his book Manuscript Found in a Craw, the Copt, the main character, says there's a small group, this small village of people who are about to go into a battle against this huge army. He said, let them see your scars. Most people want to hide their scars. Let them see your scars, because the scars you carry are stronger than the sword that made them. I always love that line. Most people speak from their wounds because they can get sympathy. They can get temporary recognition, but nobody wants to look at a wound. Nobody wants to listen to a wound. So that's what happens with the lover. Okay. So what to expect when you master, when you access your lover? Deeper relationships. You'll create meaningful connections built on trust and presence. There's emotional freedom. You'll love openly without the fear of rejection or the need for validation. Let me say that again. There's emotional freedom. Most people are fearful in their life because of this concept of love. It really links into everything. It's one of the reasons I think disease, a body not at ease, exists so much today, is that there's no unabashed love that exists for the majority of people. There's surface stuff, but that doesn't allow them emotional freedom, right? There's heightened creativity. One of the things that Napoleon Hill talked about in his book is the power of sex transmutation. And that was a tough topic in the 30s to talk about how your sexual capability and how orgasm can be used to help you create tremendous wealth, and understanding it and how to delay and postpone and become more in tune with that highest of emotions, that exaltation, that feeling of just absolute bliss. But see, we don't talk about these things. We don't talk about love at meetings. We don't talk about falling in love with yourself. We say, take care of yourself, be good to yourself. You should love yourself. But we don't ever teach anybody this stuff. And I can promise you, well, I should say this. I'll tell you for a fact that the way my parents showed love is not the way I show love. I'm the odd duck, right? So we get taught love from our parents. Be quiet, sit down, don't talk. Spankings. I grew up with spankings. My mother used to have a box of wooden spoons, right? Wooden spoons were her thing. So this heightened creativity and passion, when the lover feels truly artistic and expression comes through life, and life is filled with enjoyment, because when you're sitting in love, you can see things a whole lot different. And there's the balance in giving and receiving. You'll love yourself, and when you love yourself, others don't feel required to love you. They feel like they can add to your garden. They don't have to create your garden. Does that make sense? So here's the 4 typical expressions of the lover, right? So the lover can be manifest in both empowered, or as Carl Jung would call them, the shadowed forms. Understanding these aspects helps you recognize where you currently stand. So number 1, we talk about it on each one, right? We've talked about the empowered sovereign, the empowered warrior, the empowered magician, and now the empowered lover. This is connected and passionate, and you have a present heart. Loves fully without attachment or fear. That's a rare bird, right? Loves fully without attachment and fear. That way, I wasn't taught to love without attachment. That's something I learned when I decided at the age of 14 I was never going to have another bad day. I didn't know what that meant, but at 14, when my world kind of, not my world, my oldest brother his world kind of went topsy-turvy for things. That's a whole nother story. It's in different books I've written. But the point is that I made a decision on that day that I'm going to maintain my state of energy, of one of happiness and light and joy. I didn't know how much love played into that. Experience deep joy, passion, and creativity. If there's some times where you'll watch a commercial and you'll cry, you have this sense of deep passion. You have this idea, if you cry at movies, because somebody was saved or somebody was heroic or somebody did something amazing and you get emotional. That's a clue for deep sense of emotional state. This creates healthy relationships built on mutual respect and trust. And finally, well, I shouldn't say finally, there's a deep connection to self. When you learn to truly fall in love with who it is you are, how it is you are, all of these things that make you who you are, you wind up connected to yourself and to others. You see a connection. You can kind of see into their heart a little bit better. So, of course, the chakra connections are what? The loving connection and the special energy connection, the heart chakra, right? I am open to giving and receiving love. The sacral connection, the passion, right? That's just below your belly button. I experience pleasure, joy, and creative expression freely, without ties, without effort. So that's the empowered lover. Here's the addicted lover, the needy, the overly attached heart, the obsessed. They become overly attached to people, experiences, and substances so that they can feel whole. Maybe they need the glass of wine. They need a particular community. They need an outreach. They need somebody to make them feel good. Falls into codependency, seeking contrast validation from others. Now, let me explain that. Contrast validation. I'm not good enough. Yes, you are. My life sucks. No, it doesn't. Nobody loves me. We love you. They're constantly asking or stating a contrary belief they hope is not true, so that they can get others to validate the belief they want. Here's the challenge. What we speak about and think about, we bring about. If you say, I'm not a good lover, I know the universe doesn't hear the negative, but you got to remember, it's about doing things in a certain way, and it hears the energy. They fear abandonment, leading to jealousy, leading to possessiveness, leading to desperation. They use love. They use sex, they use certain things to get attention. They use pleasure or intimacy as an escape from personal wound. Now, this is the addictive lover. I was with somebody like this for 2.5 years. I didn't have all of this awareness and training. It was just easier. It was easier to be with the aggravation than it was for the breakup, because the breakup was just going to be miserable. Anybody know anything like that? Here's the chakra blockages. What happens with the addicted lover? There's a fear of loss leading to emotional dependency. There's this feeling of unsafe without external connection. They haven't found themselves inside, and this leads to clinginess. Anybody know that? So that was number 2, empowered, and then the addicted lover. And so now we're going to talk about the detached lover. This is the fearful the avoidant, and the emotionally distant heart. So here's somebody who could be outgoing and jovial, and they seem like they're all together. And as your connection deepens, doesn't have to go into one of romantic state, but as your connection deepens, they seem to become more distant. This one struggles to open up emotionally and be fully present in relationships. They keep people at arm's length due to their fear of intimacy. You finding out more about me that I'm afraid, and I'll be fearful that you're not going to like me when you do. They appear emotionally cool and indifferent to love. They may feel numb, disconnected, or avoidant of deep emotional experience. The blocks, yes, Debbie, I know. The blocks that happen are the fear of vulnerability, the heart chakra, right? Leading to emotional suppressions. And then the throat chakra, difficulty speaking or expressing feelings honestly. Anybody know anybody like that? So that's the detached lover. Then the wounded lover, number 4, their heart's in pain. They're carrying the old scars and the old wounds. They carry emotional wounds from the past and heartbreaks and betrayals and losers of their life. You ever meet anybody and first thing I want to do is tell you about all of the bad things that happened in their relationships? Oh my God, that reminds me of Saul. Saul was just this worst. He never hit me, and they just tell story after story after story of all the pain in their life. And you're like, I thought we were having coffee. Feels unworthy of love or afraid of repeating past hurt. May self-sabotage relationships or attract partners who reinforce old patterns, old wounds. Because that's what they're used to. That's all they can recognize. Good morning, Dub Dub. Strengthens this experience of struggling with joy. Because if you're a human, you're going to run into people who have joy, who do love themselves, who have an ability to express themselves. And you're going to struggle to be around these people. I know, Dubby, it's crazy, isn't it? Are we talking about a past life of yours? Were you a previous scorned lover? The blockages, the chakra blockages, again, heart and solar plexus, the doing, low self-worth, feeling undeserving of love. That's the doing, the solar plexus right here. And the heart's closed off because of unresolved pain. So let's go find your lover. Let's go find your lover archetype in your body. We're going to do the little guided meditation real quick. So close your eyes. You're in a safe place, not operating any heavy equipment or doing brain surgery. Close your eye. Take a big breath. If the conversations about the 4 types has triggered some things in you, just relax for a moment. Let that be. Love it. Be aware of it. Now we're going to go locate where your lover resides in this beautiful body of 50, 60 trillion cells and see where it sits. Where does your lover live in your body? Where do you feel? If you were to call out to your lover and say, I want to know how to access you. I want to find the place where you, and listen, for some of you, this may be the first time you're accessing your lover archetype. And so I'm getting this download. Don't be surprised if when you locate the place or are told where it's living or where its energy source resides in your body, that it's a whole new feeling. Because this is your best version of your lover. Your archetype is the best version. How you have been operating is not your lover archetype. I want to be clear with that. Your lover archetype is the empowered, the joyous, the glorious, the perfect version of your lover for you. The perfect version, the perfect style, the perfect energy, the one that accesses all of the joys of the universe. So when you locate this lover, it may seem odd or weird, or I don't know if that's truly it. It probably is. Do you feel a warmth in your core? Do you feel a light shining from inside out? Do you feel something in your hands? Is there a spark of excitement somewhere in your shoulders, in your belly? Do you feel it in your hips? Where is it? A soft energy in your hand? Can you see things differently with your eyes all of a sudden? Do your eyes feel soft? Where's the lover residing in your body? Feel it. Maybe place one of your hands there. Connect the energy from this source to your physical body. Right? A lot of people say the lover's in my heart. Some people, it's in their hands. Put your hands together. I've had some people say it was the back of their neck. It's where your lover resides. There's no wrong place. There's only the best place for you to become aware of this energy. Feel this light. What would be the color of the energy of your lover? What color excites you? I've had people say purple and green and orange and blue and white light, blue light, golden color. Feel your heart open as you locate your lover. Your lover's always been there. This is you becoming acquainted with the energy space and the source inside of you from where it started and where it resides. Your lover has always been waiting for you. Always been waiting for you. How does this lover feel in connecting with you? What do you feel in your body? What relaxation, what stress is leaving your body? What energy of focus and clarity and love do you have for your dreams and goals? So let's make the move of your lover. If your lover had a movement, what would it be? What would be the move your lover would make? Is it a hugging of yourself? Is it an open hand? What's the movement your lover would make? Would you gently place your hand over your heart? Extend your arms open wide for a hug to give love? Would you simply sway? Would you feel this energy moving through your body? Find your lover's move. Feel it. Embody it. What's the move of your lover? Let your body express this love-body connection. This is the neuroencoding anchor again. From this image, this energy, this frequency up here, moving it into your body. Accessing this energy of calm, commitment, peace. So now you have your movement of your lover. Let's look at the sonic anchor. If your lover had a sound, what would it be? A sigh of pleasure? A deep, contented hum? A joyful laugh? Ha ha! Let the sound naturally rise. Let it feel this. Let your body release to you. Let your body guide you. Let the spirit energy guide you to what is the sound. Don't force it. Fall in love with this activation, this vocal activation that's created to remind you of your lover. Let it vibrate through your chest. The feeling. Breathe in through that area, through this sound, through your throat, through the words you use, through your heart, through your sacral chakra. Feel the energy activating your solar plexus, your doing, your groundedness. So now become aware of your movement and your sound. Here's some brain talk. I love being deeply connected to myself. Say it. I love being deeply connected to myself, to others, and to the world. I love freely without fear. I love freely without fear. Feel that. I am worthy of receiving love in its purest form. I am worthy of receiving love in its purest form. My heart is open and my passion flows freely. I am deeply connected to myself, to others, and the world. I love freely and without fear. I am worthy of receiving love in its purest form. My heart is open and my passion flows freely. This one is a big emotional switch, a big emotional transition for us to step into our lover for many people, male or female. Over 30 years of research of my own, this is why I've always asked, are you ready for the love? Self-love, love for others, the amount of love you have to give that you've been holding on to. When you start to realize the flow of love that you can give without any connection, without any consequence, without any give and take, you simply get to give it and feel it flow and give space for more. A lot of people's love is like a stagnant pond. They got tons of it, but there's no flow through it. Oh, I love. You really haven't in a while. So let's do some tapping, right? Let's set the statement, work through it. Remember, we got eyebrow, outside eye, under eye, nose, chin. I'll walk you through this: collarbone, side, and top of head. Okay? So eyebrow. Just like, well, actually, let's do the karate chop. Let's add that in. I didn't add that in yesterday. Karate chop. And this is where you set the statement. My lover archetype has been there. Maybe, just maybe, I haven't used it as I should. Maybe I haven't used it to my advantage. Maybe I haven't used it to take myself to the next level. I'm okay to change that today. Eyebrow. I've been afraid to fully open my heart. I've been afraid to fully open my heart. I have been afraid to fully open my heart. Side of the eye. I release the fear of being hurt again. I release the fear of being hurt again. Just slightly tapping. Again, if your hand gets tired, you can switch sides. You're not going to break the pattern or the conversation. Under the eye. right there in the center, again, right there on the bone. I choose to experience love freely and fully. Now, if you yawn, I think I just made myself do that. Oh, it's a brain reset. Doesn't mean you're tired. Now, maybe you woke up early and you're still a little tired. The reason we yawn is to get more oxygen to feed our brain. It's a brain reset. Keep tapping under the eye. I choose to experience love freely and fully. Under the nose, right there between your top of your lip and below your nose, right there in that little fatty area under the nose. I trust myself to love without attachment. I trust myself to love without attachment. Chin, right there between the chin and the bottom of the lip, right there in that little notch. I embrace my passion, joy, and emotional depth. I embrace my passion, emotional joy, and the depth of my love. I embrace my passion, my joy, and my emotional depth. Just slightly tapping. Feel the shift in your body. Feel this opening. Feel this flow beginning. Collarbone, right there, kind of on that knot, right there on the collarbone. I am safe in my ability to give and receive love. I am safe in my ability to give and receive love. I am safe in my ability to give and receive love. That one you might feel something in your body. Under the arm, kind of halfway down your rib cage, either side, left or right. My heart is open and my soul is alive with love. This is in your lungs. This is activating this area of your belief and your breath and your clarity. My heart is open and my soul, feel that, is alive with love. My soul is open. My heart is alive with love. That feel good? Top of the head, from the hairline to the top of the head, somewhere right in the center between those two, I embody the lover, fully present and deeply connected, fully present and deeply connected. I embody the lover, fully present and deeply connected. I embody my lover, fully present and deeply connected. So here's some daily activation. Shay, rub your hands together, rub your hands together. Shake them out. Feel the energy flowing through your body, the connection through the meridians. You can go back and watch that part of the video. It's on YouTube. So here's some ways to integrate this daily practice. Morning activation, place your hand on your heart and make your move. If it's both hands, use both hands. If it's one hand, use your one hand, leave one hand on your heart and say your lover's affirmation. Right? I fully embrace my lover and the depth and my presence. Throughout the day, use your move or sound whenever you feel disconnected from love or joy or your passion. In the evening, journal about the moments of deep connection. What allowed you to open up today? Think about that. Where are you? And listen, you may be given a chance to use your fighting lover, your needy lover, because you're aware of this connection. You may default to your default mode network, the one that you believed was your lover, but it was the disempowering version of it. So just be aware. Final thoughts. Your lover archetype is one of the most misunderstood and feared energy because true love requires vulnerability. Let me say that again. The lover is one of the most misunderstood and feared energies because love requires vulnerability. Ask yourself, am I loving from a wholeness or from a need? When you have conversations, are they mostly about you? Do you see how there's people you meet where the conversation's always about them, their problems, their needs, their wants, their wishes? That's them screaming for love. It's maybe the only way they know how to ask for it. Be present with it. It's okay. Just be aware of it. Am I open to giving and receiving love freely? Oh, I like people. What's the requirement? Only if they fill in the blank. Am I embracing the passion and joy that life offers? What are you missing out on? There's times I'll sit and watch an ant for 15, 20 minutes. Just amazing. I love bees. When the bees came to take the honey I was offering them, AKA robber bees, I went and got a chair and a water, and I just sat right there next to the hive. I mean, right in their path. I was getting bumped because they didn't know me. I'm not their beekeeper, so they didn't know me. But they knew the energy. They knew this was my honey. Bees are pretty intelligent. They can sense some pretty powerful, they can recognize up to 30 or 40 different faces. It's pretty amazing. So sitting there and watching them and getting to meet them, right? Because they were Italian bees. Those are one of the most common bees that are out there. So I give them all names: Luigi, Frandingo, and all names that I had like Italian. And they'll land on me and I'll talk to them and they'll be walking around and maybe I'll put a little drop of honey so it kind of entices them. Right? I was a kid in school, had to tie a pork chop around my neck to get people to play with me, the dogs to play with me. So what I'm saying is that, are you embracing all the joy that life has to offer? Or are you going through it miserable and aggravated and I got to do the next thing, and whatever the thing you're doing, you're always worried about the next thing. You're not ever in the moment. The lover is not just about romance. It's about fully embracing life and life's connection and the beauty of the present moment. This moment will never exist again. Sadhguru says, in this moment, choose joy or choose misery. The moment of starting this call will never, ever in the history of the world, in the billions of years that have been, in the billions of years that are coming, the moment that of you clicking onto this call and me getting to see your name pop up will never, ever exist again. What a miraculous moment that was. What a miraculous moment this is. Are you allowing yourself to be present? There you go. That's the conversation of the lover archetype. I've done 2-day seminars on this and spent 5 hours going into detail. Some of that is in my school academy, seanschool.com. Go into the classroom and you'll see it from October of 2024. 3 hours of conversation about the archetypes. Pretty cool stuff. I also have, I think it's a 100-page workbook that goes along with it. It's not in there. That's a purchase product. If you'd like to know more about that, reach out to me. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. There's the archetypes. What'd you learn? What'd you like? What's your takeaway from the conversation today about the lover archetype? Good morning, everybody. And the dogs are out and I hear them barking at stuff. So I may have to run away real quick and then come right back just to check in on them, because we've got the little fluffy out there. I want to make sure she's okay too, Molly. Good morning, everybody.
Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. Somebody who left their long ass driveway to go to a place to get data because of the winds we've had. Good morning.
Yes. Good morning. Can I tell you how easy it would have been to just skip today?
Yep. Oh, trust me. Absolutely. I say that every morning.
When I woke up,
on top of not skipping it, having this be the conversation. Go ahead.
woke before the alarm, no internet, all the things. At least I have power again. Most of the day yesterday, we didn't have power.
Wow.
So it could have just been, nah, I'll just skip it today. I'll catch a recording. Something kept saying, no, 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 you need to be on the call and you need to be on the call live.
Yep. Wow.
So here I am. And I needed this so badly today. So badly. So thank you for listening to your guides and being obedient to what is being told to you so that you can convey this information to the world. I'm just going to say to me today. So thank you for doing that.
You're welcome.
Was able to see some patterns in my life that maybe, I just didn't want to recognize and want to acknowledge. And patterns in other people's lives that are very important to me. So I will be able to use this information to better communicate with them and enhance relationships and probably let some go.
Well, and just they don't take up space.
Yeah.
Right? You'll always have the memory and you'll always have any moments that you connect in the future. It's just it's a different state. It's a different filter through which you show up. So anytime, I heard the other day that every time we make a decision, if we think about it, it makes sense. We change our world. We literally vibrate into a new world. We literally create a new world. Our world, it's still our world, and everybody's world is their own world. And when you change your state, you literally vibrate into a new world where these emotional experiences of the relationships don't affect, which means they don't exist because of the way we now choose to see them. We've literally stepped into a new world. It is literally you, when you go back to your home, it is a completely different home. It's a new world. And when we let that part of us, our logic part of us, understand that we are literally shifting and changing. When Molly showed up, it's a whole new world here at the ranch, an entirely new world. When Fee left, it was changed the entire ranch. It's a different world. So all of these worlds exist, and we are constantly vibrating into the worlds of the unknown or the worlds of the known, and trying to make them present, which is where stress comes in. Something of the past, when we think of an old story, which is why we can never think of an old story and it be the same. We make it either better than it was or worse than it was. It's never the same. Because we're trying to bring an old story into our present world and make it the old world. You can't. It's impossible. I can't go back. We can talk about when you were 20 and we can bring your 20-year-old self into the present. I can bring my 20-year-old self into the present, but I ain't 20. So with this awareness, with this drive that pushed you to do something, I think this is the first time you've gone out to drive down to get data from a local.
Yes.
Yeah. So
yes.
You got to ask yourself, did eternity push you?
Oh, there's no doubt.
So did your warrior wake up and say, this ain't a battle, something you've never done. We're going to get you to drive down your driveway, drive down that road that is like, lightning gets lost looking for your driveway. Drive all the way to the end of that place and then make a left or a right to go someplace else. Something pushed you. You got to ask, what pushed me this morning to be in this moment?
Well, it is it's the commitment that I made to myself writing out my DMP yesterday.
Okay.
Writing out my DMP yesterday was so profound. so profound. Um, and I will fully admit that when it has come to you questioning, have you written out your DMP today? How many times did you read your DMP? Did you write it out? Yeah, I might glance at it, but I fully made a commitment. Well, let's see, I guess it was Tuesday morning to say, you know what? I haven't fully embraced this activity of writing out my DMP every day. I'm going to give this 30 days and see what happens.
Yeah,
I'm going to write it out.
Let's test the universe.
I'm going to write it out every day for 30 days and just see what happens. And I have to approach this as a game. Otherwise, I'm not. If it's a job, it's just another job.
Right.
If I gamify this, I'm going to fully participate. I'm learning this about myself. So gamifying it and fully making a commitment Tuesday morning that I'm going to do this every day. I'm going to be fully present. I'm making commitments to show up to things that I've said I'm going to show up for.
So
I had to show up this morning. I had to.
So do you know who made you show up this morning?
It was absolutely my sovereign. It was Emerald. She was just, you got to do this.
And what was the topic today?
Love. Was the lover.
So why do you think Emerald made you show up today?
Because this lover aspect of me, I have ignored it.
So is it possible that on Tuesday your lover silently activated and said, we're going to successify this program and I'm going to work behind the scenes so that we can meet? Didn't you love yourself for writing out your DMP?
Oh, absolutely. Such a sense of accomplishment, is as if I'm, well, you said you're changing the world with every decision. Yeah.
So now that when you text me this morning and said, well, wait, I'm going to drive down to see if I can get data at this place. That was always available.
Yes.
Your lover said, let's go do it because I want you to love you. Your archetype, Emerald or Eternal, was always there. They didn't say go get it. Your lover said this. So just know that your lover has already activated. It's funny how when we look at things, we go, oh. How many times have we worked behind the scenes to take care of our family? We've sent something or went and got a particular thing or picked up an implement for the ranch or did something. And we worked behind the scenes so that when they showed up, they go, oh my gosh, this happened. Did you do that for me? Yeah. How did you anticipate their need? That's what your lover did.
And I'm not even wanting to give my lover credit. I'm wanting to give the credit.
That's why I'm to the logic side. And that's okay. That's why I'm here. Because you said this idea of if I don't make it fun, I won't do it. The DIY method sucks. It just does, because we have to fight with our old story. I don't have a battle with your old stories. I can show them to you. You can refuse to accept them, or you can go, God dang it. That seems about right. So on Tuesday, your lover activated and said, okay, we're going to go have some fun. We're going to have some fun. That should be an indicator, this gamification, this successification of your, I don't even know if successification is a word. I doubt it. It is today. Successification. This idea of having fun and doing this, of getting your butt in the car, getting it so that you're not running around in your house robe. I don't think that, if God forbid something happened, you'd be able to be seen by the public. But you drove. How far away of a drive was it? 10 minutes?
Oh yeah, easy.
Easy 10-minute drive.
Yeah.
Always available. Always available today. Why different? Ask your lover. Ask your lover if she did this. If she wanted so much to meet you that she figured out how to gamify you to get your butt in the car to go do something you've never done before, not in the years that we've worked together.
Yes.
Tell her thank you. Now, see how powerful she is. She did this, and the sovereign did this, right? The sovereign didn't go, no, we're not doing that. That's not what we do. Sovereign went, okay, yes, ma'am. That's how powerful the lover is. Over the warrior too, to fight the resistance to go. I could have stayed in bed. Hell no, you couldn't have. Not if your lover's got anything to do with it. Your lover drives everything.
And can I tell you something else that I just
Yeah.
noticed? A highway department truck just pulled into this parking lot and is just parked right in front of me. And the unit is 222, which 2 is my number.
Well, let's have it in a trifecta.
So there it is.
And then you got to Google the angel number, right? 222.
Yeah.
Somebody could do that. Maybe. What's the angel number 222? So you Google angel number 222 and it tells you what it is.
Mm.
So how's this feel now?
It feels like I can do anything.
Now, who's guarding your words right now? Who has the hand in front of your up here? Is it your prince or princess?
Um, I don't know who has.
Okay.
I don't know who it is.
So interesting.
It feels new. It
Okay.
feels new.
So it feels new. So somebody's masking themselves. They're tricking you as it's new, but it's not new. This is as old as it gets. It's not new. Ask, demand it. Say, lover, tell me who this is. I enjoy this. I don't need to guard my words when I'm in love. I don't need all of these good things coming to me, 222, the truck coming in, the data being available, the sun being pleasant, nice enough drive, 10 minutes away, comfortable car, all of these things. And then when I say, oh, ask, who is the one wanting to guard my words? See who it is.
Oh, it's
Okay. We all like a good laugh.
it's Terry showing up again.
Yeah, but so how did she mask his new? That's how good Terry is, isn't she?
Yeah.
And say, hey, listen, I'm in a safe place. Now, Terry has asked Terry if I know, and some of you are listening to this going, what the hell are they who? How many multiple? What are we talking a Sybil here? Yeah, we're all Sybil. We got a lot more than 16 personalities. Is Terry afraid of the lover? Or is Terry afraid she'll lose control?
Oh, well, that's a little bit of both there.
Yep. Yep. So introduce
A little
him.
bit of both.
Let Terry know that the lover can be part of her energy too. It's okay. I still need you, Terry, to protect me because if I go off rampant and just go off in, peace, love in the 60s and everything is cool, man, I'll wind up in a van somewhere on the side of a mountain. I don't want to do that. So I still need Terry's little nudge going, you may want to check this. See, this is proof we live in this binary world. Well, it's either all or nothing, some or nothing. But we live in such a deluded, delusional world that I have to be all or nothing. I have to be all Terry or all lover. And then, no, there's this blending, this balance. And when we activate something as emotionally strong and as powerful as the lover in our life, there's a tremendous amount of resistance. Now, did the highway truck block you, or are they just in front of you?
No, they're just in front. They're
Okay,
not blocking anything.
could you use it as a block?
No.
Okay. So we get these little clues when you said it pulled in front of me. That's Terry starting to say, look at that. We're just sitting here. And then and then the 222. And then that's when all of a sudden you got to guard your words. There's all of these things when Terry thinks she's getting control back, that more awareness, the lever goes, I don't even compete with Terry. I don't not like Terry. I love Terry. But every time she's going to throw up something, a language, an action, or this, if I'm welcome, that's the neat thing about the heart. The heart, when you understand the psychology of how the heart and the brain work, right? There's the heart-brain connection called heart rate variance. When your brain is calm, your heart, the space between beats increases because your heart is less stressed. When we understand this heart-brain connection and we activate the lover, the neuro encoding in us that gets activated to maintain our previous identity, it's phenomenal. It's to look at it as the reporter in our own bodies. A truck pulls in front of you. Oh, 222. Right? I think that, did the truck block the sun for you?
No.
Okay. I didn't, because you had sun on your face, but I didn't know which way direction. So what did the truck block? What view of the did the truck block for you?
Just of trees.
Okay. You love trees.
Oh, of course. Who doesn't
Right.
love trees?
So the truck blocked some trees. That's a subconscious thing, an unconscious thing. Oh, I was liking those trees. Maybe, maybe not. But when I hear these things, I look for, what did it block? What is it keeping you from seeing? That it focused your attention onto the door, the plate, or wherever it was where you saw unit number 222. Right? There's all of these little clues that the more we become aware, the more we have to become aware of. So you did something you've never done before. Right? This is the definition of cuckoo, right? To feel a way you've never felt before, to have a result you've never had before, to become somebody you've never been before. That sounds like a recipe for potential chaos. Unless this is your best version of you that you've been seeking. Then there's no reason not to keep it. Can you think of any reason to not keep this feeling you have right now?
No, there's no reason.
So then what do you think the 1,000 reasons are that might show up between now and noon? Right? That's what we've got to become aware of. This is
I don't even want to entertain that, though.
right. So this is why we have to replay. They say the average emotional awareness lasts for 24 hours. Right now, your neuroencoding, your brain synaptic neural creation in your brain, all across your brain as it relates to this dialogue, every one of those neural connections, listen carefully, went from about 1,300 neural synaptic connections to 2,600. You just doubled your brain's capacity. It manufactured and created, it doubled. It went from 1,300 connections to putting another 1,300 connections at each of these synaptic connections that are running throughout that brilliant brain of yours, so that it can gather all of this information because it's emotionally important to you. When the body, the neuroencoding is emotionally charged, the brain says, wait a minute, we might have to remember this. And so it literally doubles your capacity. That's why when you go to events, you'll sit all day and you'll jump up and down and dance and do some things. And at the end of the day, you're like, I am exhausted. It's because you're literally doubled the capacity of your brain's learning. if this is not revisited within 24 hours, the 2,600 sets of neural connections prunes itself because the brain says, well, I guess that's not important anymore, which is why the writing of your DMP caused you to actually get your ass in the car to here. That made you get up this morning to go do this, writing it out yesterday. 1 day of success, the game, say you've won the game. And so if I won the game in 1 day to do something I've never done, holy macaroni, if 1 day of writing out my DMP got me into the car to go do something, to experience something, to access my greatest version of my lover, to see some relationships that I can now let go with love and light and joy, and a truck shows up 222, not just 1 2, 2 3 2s. That's from writing out your DMP yesterday. This is the echo of your essence of making a decision. So I'd say you won. Question is do you want to keep winning?
Yes, I do.
So this isn't like,
yes, I do.
You've got 38 seconds to put in another quarter. You kind of do. You have now. What time did you write out your DMP yesterday?
Oh, it was before the call. It was like at 5:15 yesterday morning.
So you have about an hour before you don't write out your DMP again. 24 hours.
Okay.
If you don't go home and do the discipline, because here's the thing, chaos is going to show up. You now activated one of the most powerful emotions in your body, this understanding of your lover archetype. Terry's already showing up, trying to sneak in the back door, throwing eggs at, and right. Remember when eggs and toilet paper were so cheap, we threw them at our enemies? I love that meme.
Yes.
Terry's going to show up. You're going to get back to the house going, oh my gosh, I left the house for 5 minutes and look what happened. You're going to have to sit down and say, this is what got me one writing of my DMP. How long did it take you to write it out?
About 30 minutes.
Okay, so is this joy worth 30 minutes of your time?
Oh, absolutely.
So then you got to go home. That's one of the first highest priorities. Go home, use the restroom, get your water, get your hydrogen water, and sit down and say, oh my goodness. And look at yesterday's writing and say, thank you, thank you, thank you. You made me do something I've never done for the morning call. I had access to it, but how the heck did you? I don't care. I love that we won. Here we go.
Well, I don't even have to go home to write my DMP because I brought my journal with me.
There you go. Write it out there. Whatever it is, because it's, again, we're on the outside of 24 hours. Now, because of the call this morning, because of the commitment to get up, get in the car, to make those decisions, to text me, to ask some questions about accessing the call, those connections are still active. Neuroplasticity is the ability to rewire the brain to create new neural networks that allow the flow of activity and electricity and awareness to flow easily and effortlessly. You are literally rewiring your brain to your DMP. And it had to show up, proving, giving you evidence within 24 hours, gave you absolute, concrete, beyond a shadow of a doubt evidence that the game works. I don't know how you ever stop playing this successification game.
No, I don't want to stop.
So now imagine if that was 1 day, what was day to, and allow yourself to receive. This is why love is so important. Allow yourself to be loved even more. Are you ready for the love? You now hear that differently, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. And everybody else hears, I still don't understand it. It's okay. I'm not going to not say it because you don't understand it. Are you ready for the love? And it's this unbelievable, overwhelming flood of self-love that the universe will bring you indication after indication after indication after indication after clue after clue after vision after access after, oh my gosh, you won't believe what happened. 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 It is overwhelmingly, life just got a lot easier. It literally did. It just got so much more fun. You'll do more than you've ever done, but it'll be from this place of, this is the best thing ever. Congratulations. Huge JM3.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
What'd you learn? What'd you like?
Oh my gosh.
Hey, one thing you learned, one thing you like.
One thing I learned is, this DMP thing works. Why haven't I fully embraced this before?
The 4 stages, right? Fear. And now the
Yeah.
sadness. Oh my God, I could have been doing this for a long time ago. Gotta get through that.
Yeah. Okay. It's done.
Done. Oh my
It's
gosh.
done.
Yes, I could have. But I'm not missing tomorrow. I'm not
No,
missing today.
not missing today. No.
And you know what's gonna happen again? You know it's gonna be the next thing I saw is you're gonna write it out. Some days you're gonna write it out a couple of times a day.
And that's okay.
Yeah, because you're gonna have a tweak to
Oh,
the
I've already had some tweaks.
shocking. Huh.
Already had tweaks. Yeah.
And the expansion of your capability, the expansion of what you thought was impossible now turns into I'm possible. And now you're going to continue to stretch yourself. Because you're like, yeah, that's done. That's easy. That was easy. Ugh, I love it.
Okay. So learned, and I like, um, I like, oh, I don't, I like it all. I liked it all.
I love it.
So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone, for being here and being witness to all of this miraculous stuff.
You are the miracle.
It's a magnificent day. Yes.
I love it.
All right. Thank you.
Enjoy. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Congratulations. Who else? Thoughts, comments, questions, takeaways, take with yous as we wrap up this morning.
Good morning, Sean.
Good morning, Salka.
How are you?
Outstanding.
I see you wearing a Sean sweatshirt.
Yep. It's a Sean thing. You wouldn't understand.
Sean thing. So this was certainly very interesting because when you said some people go from relationships to relationships to relationships, that's me. So how can I fix that?
Why would you fix
when
it?
I feel that things are just not right, I'm out.
Right. Sure. And that's okay. So why not set it up for you to be all right and allow that vibration to come in? Imagine if you set your station, your Selka Carpenter radio station, to 101 love and joy and happiness. The only thing that could come into that station is love, joy, and happiness. Nothing that's going to be, well, in 30 days, they're going to turn into a jackhole.
But see, it starts out that way, and then
suddenly
goes to jackhole. Yeah, I mean,
it's masked
that's
that
what
way.
I'm not getting.
Yeah, but it's masked that way. You're not willing to see it. You saw it. You have an innate ability. Women have a much stronger innate, I call it the spidey sense. You knew it was there. You're like, this always happens, right? If you say this always happens, you had to let that in. It's impossible not. So you saw it was there. You may not wanted to have admitted it. And nobody, listen, I can promise you this, no one is as good as hiding themselves. Now, unless they're a narcissist and they gaslight you, but that's not what happens. It starts off good and then they turn into themselves. Themselves was always.
I see what I'm asking myself is,
right.
Why do I get drawn into that?
Because you get to have the authority of backing out. There was a point in your life where if you were the first one to say no or to leave a situation, somebody told you that gave you the authority and the power. And that's been the situation ever since, is that in order for me to maintain my identity, I have to say no first.
Well, I feel that I have to say no first before the other person says no.
Right. So there you go.
Because I don't want to be left.
So what if you could never be left? So
well, that would be different, but that's not the reality.
It is the reality.
I'm seeing.
All right, but let it be the reality. This is a shift in identity. What if you could never be left? What if you never left you? So you got to leave you. If you know there's a chance that after relationship, this one's probably not going to work either, but I'm going to go into it knowing full well you're going to leave it. Because that's the vibration you brought. Bring me a relationship that's a rose in bloom, but then the bloom falls off and it's thorns, and I don't want to be around the thorns. Bring me a relationship like that. Well, I wouldn't ask for that.
No, I would. I'm not asking for that.
History says you have, though, haven't you?
Maybe not consciously.
There you go.
Certainly not consciously.
Sure, absolutely.
Say, hey, I'm looking for a shitty relationship.
No, but that's what you've had. So here's the thing. Something in you asked. So now if you activate your archetypes, you activate your lover, and you literally have a conversation out loud with your lover. Hey, did you know I was doing this to myself? And you're going to hear your lover. I'm hearing your lover giggle, going, yes. And I tried to warn you. There were warning signs. There were warning signs. I promise you, there were warning signs. And you're like, yeah, but that was just one time. That's who they are. So what happens if Silka never leaves Silka? What happens if Silka starts to love Silka and you never stop loving yourself? Not egotistically, oh, you need to do this for me and all of that. When you love yourself, you'll be amazed at the people who love them. There's a lot of people who, let me put it this way. When I was in a relationship that I knew I shouldn't have been in, do you know how many more people showed up in my life to be in a relationship that I shouldn't have been in? I mean, seriously. And they seemed like easier relationships and better relationships. And that's how cheating starts. It's a better relationship than the one you have. And it's not that the relationship you have is bad. It's what you asked for. I asked for it. I knew I should have broke up a year ago, but it was just easier. And
I go immediately, literally, when I feel it's not working. I don't stay there.
So how do we make it work for Silka? How does Silka love Silka? When you love you, literally, I know this it seems like an odd thing to say. Oh, I love me. Not if you're putting.
I think I love me, but
yes.
Maybe I don't.
So this is where we have to start to shift the subconscious and the unconscious pattern that's been wired in that said the way that you protect yourself is leave.
Yeah.
What if the way you protected yourself was to stay? I can promise you, if one of the puppies you love, one of the dogs, the animals that you love was in harm's way, you'd put yourself in harm's way to go protect it.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So why not?
Because it can protect itself.
Well, it sounds like you think you can protect yourself and you can't. You have to love you such that you don't need more protection. The dog that gets protected doesn't ask, protect me. It's scared and we show up. What if the part of us that's scared to be loved gets us to protect it? Gets us to be in the love, gets our warrior to stand tall and say, we will never be in a battle again for love. Because I ain't letting any jackholes in, because we both know they were jackholes before they were jackholes. We can say they didn't show up like that. They had to. They did. We knew it. We felt it. There were little clues all along the way from the very first thing. In the first 5 seconds of meeting that person, one of the 105 decisions your brain made, one of them was jackhole alert.
But I didn't.
You didn't want to see it. You
Okay.
didn't want to see. I'm just saying this is psychology. If it showed up and it's pattern after pattern after pattern, you dang well know you're a sharp cookie, Silke. You know the pattern was there. Why you know why you get frustrated? Because you didn't acknowledge it sooner. That's all. It's just that's the reality. If we look back and we look at this and go, so how was that relationship bad? How was that relationship bad? Listen, you're good at finding bad relationships, but I don't want them. I know, but you're good at finding them. That's the reality. That's history says that. So
yeah, obviously I'm good at something.
you're great at it.
But
So
that's not what I want.
right.
Absolutely not what I want.
So start with your gratitude and to write out 10 blessings of why you love you. Oh, that seems odd. I know.
No, I don't find that odd.
I know, but I would go do that.
Great idea.
The part of you that likes it is the part of you that wants to move forward. The resistance part of you that's hiding behind the corner right now, waiting for me to shut up so that it can get you busy or send you a text of somebody who's absolutely gone off the ranch and sends you, you're an idiot, you're crazy, I don't know what you do. You're like, oh, look at this. There'll be a distraction that shows up that'll keep you from writing out your love letter to yourself.
I get these,
I know you do. And those are distractions. That's all they are, is they're distractions from the universe.
Yeah, because then I feel like I have to deal with them. I'm not good like you to just ignore things.
Isn't that fascinating? Next.
I do that sometimes. I do. I use that, but then people get back to me. They don't just stop.
Well, all you do is
What do
just
you mean fascinating?
well, don't even say it to them. Just send them a check mark. And that's it. Don't open up the can of worms yet. Check mark. What does that mean? Let them be the one who thinks about. They sent me a check mark. What the hell does that mean? Don't respond. My breath is too valuable to spend it on somebody who wants to be who they are. I hope my words change things, so the things I say change things. That's all. And if you're not willing to adapt transformation or open to transformation, because I don't want to change you. I want you to see your transformation. Anybody can change you. I can make you happy for a moment. That's what comedy does. I want you to become aware of your greatness, your miracle of who you are for a lifetime.
Yeah, and I want that, certainly.
So,
but I still get these weird messages.
Yeah, but you won't anymore. Watch, pay attention. And because they may show up, but you won't see them as weird. You go, isn't that fascinating? You can simply write back, thanks for the distraction. Have a blessed day. And then you did the thing that we don't do enough of you blocked it. We keep trying to, well, I need to fix them. Screw them. That's who they are. Let them, listen, somebody's got to be a nut job in the world. Somebody's got to be cuckoo for Cocoa Puff. Wow, I just ran into a cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And haters are confused followers. Why the hell are you following me if I piss you off that much? I don't understand it. One of us is crazy and it's not me. Right, Beamish? Exactly.
Yeah, and why would you put so much energy in writing something?
That's such a long response. My gosh.
Yes.
And so the way I look at it is, well, I'm glad it stops here. I'm glad it stops with me because they're probably not going to be that venomous to somebody else. At least I hope not. Because I get some people who are just absolutely off the reservation in their responses to me, and I say, you know what? I still love you. Have a great day. And I'll usually do that in a voice message so they don't hear, because they'll read the sarcasm in it. Hey, listen, I'm not sure who peed in your Cocoa Puffs this morning, but I'm glad that if you're mad and got it out with me, because it stops with me. I hope that cleared up your day. I wish you the best. I seriously do. You know I love you. Bye for now.
And do you get a response after that?
Usually they've exploded on their end and I don't need to, they can't type anymore. Or usually they'll get a voice message back. You know what? I just was having a bad day and I apologize. No apology necessary. But what they're looking for is hey, do you see that I'm stuck in the trap?
But I think lots of times they know that what I said to them is true, but they don't want to acknowledge it.
No, absolutely.
And so they get angry at me instead of getting angry with themselves, because
Which this is a perfect awareness of. People hate to be told, they love to buy. Right?
Well,
Nobody wants to be told. They want to. So what if they could buy their awareness? Which is why I came up with the question, how's that working for you? Your current state, how is that performing? Is that allowing you to perform at a level you choose? You want to? No. How are you going to change that? Do you want to change it? Yes. Do I have your permission to help? Well, yeah. Do I have your permission to make you feel uncomfortable? Because shifting this isn't going to be easy. Until, yes, can I take you out of the uncomfortable feeling, even if you choose not to use some of the strategies or states we have a conversation about? Yeah, okay. As long as I don't have to do it. You don't have to do anything. Is it okay if we look at some opportunities, some ways for you to adjust in advance? Because where you're at, I don't think you want to be. But that's your decision. If you're willing to shift that, transform that decision to wind up in a place you've never been, I'm probably the one to help you. But if you want to stay where you're at, I don't have to do anything. I love you. I don't have to do a thing. Thanks for making my day so easy. So just be aware that the thing that and when we get into love, specifically love and giving of our love, we wind up in a default mode network. We are not even conscious of the patterns we address, because we think that's the only way I get love. This is important. The child who acts out in school, so the parents have to show up and the parents are pissed. Oh my God, Tommy, why do I have to come down to the why is this every other week you got to do this? Kids are in divorced relationships with their parents, and they're always good with one and not good with the other because they don't get the attention. They're with one more than they are with the other, and the other one gets to be the Christmas parent. Everything is good, everything is wonderful, and when they go home to the non-Christmas parent, the one they don't get all the time, they're a hell on wheels. Every time they come, you spoil them. Well, that's all a child is looking for, because they see other people, and because of social media, they think everybody else's life is gingerbread houses and freaking fairy tales.
Yeah, I think that's made things a lot worse for people, actually,
Especially kids, right? Because they know how to manipulate.
Post amazing things, and when you post something that's not amazing, people get very disturbed.
Well, and so that's why we live in this utopic society and social media, right? If the product is free, then you're the product. And social media loves controversy, just like the news does.
Oh, yeah.
So it forces us, and it shows you things.
Like, yeah. The bigger the drama, the more people will jump on it. I mean, it's pretty crazy. And I can see that on what I post. Once in a great while, I will post something that may be controversial, but that maybe I believe in, but other people don't. And I get like 100 messages where when I post my travels and, you know, the joy and the fun of going there, doing this and so on, I hardly get anyone responding to it. So I always go, oh my God, this is so crazy. And people will respond to it that I don't even know, that I have never even heard of. And I'm like, they're coming out of the woodwork to be nasty.
Well, so then why not leverage that? Because that's what your audience is geared for. Nasty. Let's just say that your active audience, those who respond. So say, hey, listen, what are some of the biggest excuses people use to not travel?
Oh, that's a good one. I'm going to use that.
Help me settle an argument, right? So they like that. Oh, argument. Here we go. I get to fight something and settle the argument. And you and I are having an argument this morning. I don't know what the biggest reasons are people don't travel. So settle that for me, Selka. You can literally go consciously with love and intention and authenticity saying, help me settle an argument. What are the biggest reasons people use? What are the biggest excuses people use to not travel?
Yeah, excuses. That's good. I've had this guy tell me the other day that he does not travel because of the food. He only eats certain foods. So I thought maybe, he has, I don't know if he has an illness or not. He didn't share that with me. But so I said, well, what do you eat? And he says, well, right now I only eat salad. And he said, whatever is on it. And I said, I have traveled the world, and I think every country you would have been able to get that salad that you just described, no problem. So then he goes on, well, but I also like chicken. Well, I've never been to a country where they don't have chicken. I mean, sometimes it's pretty crazy, right? But people have in their head the reason why they can't.
So here's the
They
thing.
literally think they can't do it.
Right. But let me offer a suggestion, an upgrade to your dialogue.
Thank you.
Rather than tell them, I've traveled the world. Hey, listen, where in the world do you think chickens don't exist? Smiley.
Oh, you are always so freaking amazing. But I need the brain. Can
Well,
I just
because
do this for a week, please?
well, because I want them to come up with the answer. You and I, but he knows there's chickens everywhere. First of all, if he doesn't think he can travel and find salads, the guy's never left his driveway.
No, and
I mean, I can get a salad on the plane. I can order a salad. I can order a Jewish meal if I want on a plane.
he wasn't even looking for a Jewish
I know,
meal.
but my point is that I can order a specific meal on a plane.
Yes, you can.
So my point is that this guy, if somebody tells me, well, I can't travel because of the food. Okay, now this is me and my sarcasm. You're an idiot. You haven't left your driveway. If you've ever ordered a burger at McDonald's without pickles, you can order special burgers at McDonald's without pickles. Did you know that? Yeah, I can do that. So rather than make them feel worse, because what they're saying is that, well, you get to travel, I don't. So I'm going to use an excuse that makes sense to me. It is this, any excuse is a stupid excuse.
Well, I would like to do your business, but I don't travel. Well, my business is not just travel; it's one part. But
hang on,
I wanted to find out.
But hang on. So when somebody says that to me, I say, "Oh, that's so awesome. Do you know anybody who does? Because if you do, we could both benefit from other people who love to travel, and you don't have to leave your house." What? Isn't that a great business?
You don't have to leave your bedroom. I had one
Yeah.
guy tell me he always works in his bed.
Well, okay, so you don't have to leave your bedroom, and you can even do this when you're in the bathroom. This is the greatest business ever.
No, it's true. So
right, but we have to let them stay in their place until they want to leave their place. And all we're looking for is when they raise their little finger and go, could I have more? Yeah. What does more look like to you? We all know the answer. I used to make you look like Mother Teresa as far as telling people what they should do. It's how I can hear it in your voice. Well, I don't travel. But I've traveled the world, and there's salads everywhere. I would have said to him, do you think they don't grow lettuce in other parts of the world, you knucklehead? We don't even get our lettuce from the United States. We get it from Mexico and Chile, and we get fruit from Chile. Do you think they don't have salads in Chile? What do you I would literally, that's
I was just so blown away when he
But isn't it funny how people use
counting.
excuses?
Yes, I mean, I should have said, hey, that's probably one of the biggest excuses I've heard in the last month.
But again, but not to, hey, listen, that's probably one. So we got to let them love them. That's probably one of the greatest concerns I've ever had. I'm just saying, we got to let them feel like we're hearing them and not admonishing them.
Well, see, that's the German of me.
Bingo.
I have to work on that.
Bingo.
Yes, I agree. That's why.
So now you would say, whenever you want to respond and go, well, that's just, let me give them my German response. Give them an Irish response. Wow. You're the first one I met like that. Tell me more.
No, that's good.
And the reason is because all they're looking for is a fight. And if you take away the fight, the only thing left is then love. If I don't have you fighting me, the only other opposite is loving me. Now, if I take away the fight, and you don't want to love me, then we have nothing to talk about. But if I get you to love me, it's because you have love inside of you. You can't love me and not love yourself. And most people don't want to be loved.
Most people don't want to be loved.
They don't. They want to
I
fight.
would
Look
think
at it.
most people want to be loved.
If most people wanted to be loved, we wouldn't have a child birth rate that's the lowest it's ever been in the history of our country. That love is breeding and having, that is the number one drive of humanity, is breeding and having and carrying on.
But it's so expensive
That's an
to
excuse.
take good care of children.
That's an excuse.
In most society.
It's too expensive because people aren't willing to put in the work to keep the commitment. It's not expensive to raise a child.
What do you mean? It costs
It's not expensive. If
a
you
lot of money
listen,
to send your children to university.
you want to know how much, you don't want to know how easy it is to make money? Have a heart attack. Have a heart attack. You'll spend $175,000 like that without even blinking an eye. It's
Oh, yes, I believe that. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
So my point is that why is it more difficult to have a beautiful child than it is to have a heart attack?
Well, I think people don't plan on ever having a heart attack.
Right. And so what happens is that because we have become so self-indulgent. Well, if I have a child, I have to sacrifice. Yeah. But it's not a sacrifice if it's something you believe in and value. Yeah, every one of you are going to have to. Heather had to sacrifice this morning to leave her house.
Yeah, that was amazing.
So
and she looked so happy. I
Yeah.
don't think I've seen Heather look so happy and sparkling ever. I mean,
right?
yeah,
So-
yeah, she like you could feel that she was in a much different state than she usually is, and at least I could feel that.
Well, and that's from one day of writing out her DMP, which I would use as an example for all of us, myself included, to write out our dang DMPs. Because if it made her feel that good, maybe I could feel half as good.
Yeah, that made her feel really good.
And here's the thing. Here's the ripple effect of you living your DMP. It made us all feel good.
So thank you, Heather, for making us feel good this morning.
For her being totally self-full, probably felt a little selfish, but for her being self-full, it made us feel better. This is what Napoleon Hill talked about. Those in your mastermind you work in perfect harmony with, even though you're playing different instruments. My goal and her goal are two different goals. But because of her sending me the text, I never looked to see if there were phone numbers. I don't think there are phone numbers for these Zooms that are on here. Maybe there are. I know with typical Zooms, there's phone numbers, but I don't know. I'd have never seen them for these. I asked. And I'll find out if there's phone numbers you could dial in to listen. I don't know that there are. My point is that because she got excited and wanted to have her best version of her, it made me want a better version of me. She shows up and then talks here at the end, sitting in a car, 222, all of this stuff. We all got excited. We could see it. We could feel it. It didn't have to do with the words. You didn't say, her words made me sound good. No, it was the way she spoke, the energy, the feeling. It's always everything other than the 7% of the words.
And she has a beautiful voice already. So yeah, you didn't even need to listen to the words. You are very, very right about that. Yeah, she was like a new woman, literally, and in an extremely good way.
But that's from 24 hours. That's from 30 minutes of writing out your DMP. I can't imagine if that's the case and that's the impact it had. How could you ever miss? I don't care if you did it every half hour of every hour and the other half hour you would work. It's like, I don't know if George Washington said it. If I had an hour to cut down a tree, I'd spend 45 minutes sharpening the saw. We don't sharpen our saw. And that was her sharpening her saw. That was her getting the rust off. We haven't even gotten down to sharpening the saw. We just got the rust off. And look at how it cut through delay and procrastination and aggravation and frustration. And then Terry, her alternate negative version of her, showed up and was covering her mouth and doing all this stuff. And so, oh my, and she even said, you heard this, I don't know, this is a new energy. I knew who it was. I could see who it was. But if I said, oh, that's Terry, no, then she had to say, well, it wasn't Terry. And now her and I are in an argument, and we're not supposed to be in an argument. My goal is to help you avoid the argument with yourself. I don't need you to argue with me.
So you just asked her instead of telling.
I said, wait a minute. I said, ask again, because when we say, I don't know, that is the biggest lie on the planet. You have the only thing God gave you complete and absolute control over is your mind. So there's nothing you don't know. You may not know the final answer, but you know the next step. So you can command and demand your subconscious to bring to you the relevant awareness that you can take the next step, because the I don't know is you living in your old identity. That's why we came up with the phrase, I'm curious to find the solution. And when I said to her, because I was told clearly, I could see clearly, I could hear Terry giggling. I said, something is masked. So I get told how to present the question to you in a way that makes sense to you. So I saw this person wearing like a New Orleans mask, one of those big heads. I said, it's an old energy that's masked. And that's where you heard her giggle. It's Terry. Shocking.
So
now
she assigned this name to her negative,
to her alter ego. That's the one that's afraid of growth and advancement.
That's very interesting.
So now she can have an argument with her without yelling at herself, because we say things like, what? I'm so stupid. No, you're not. The you that's aware of the stupid cannot be stupid. Do you realize that? Because if you're stupid, you don't know you're stupid.
I know there's many stupid people. They have no idea that they're stupid.
They have no idea. But when I'm so stupid, or that always happens to me, it never happens to you.
You allow it to happen.
The version of you that only knows that's the way to make things happen is the one that did it. And we get mad thinking we owned it. You don't own your failures. You don't own your successes. If you have a success, you think it's something outside of you. Your success is who you are. And when you live in success, you no longer have success. You are success. When you have something, it's out here. But when you are something, it's in here, and you no longer know you have it because you are it.
Oh, wow. I love that. Never looked at it that way.
So when you have failure, I failed. No, the version of you that fails did it. It doesn't know failure. How could you ever fail at anything, at love, at work, at success, at anything, if you only know failure? You only do it because you know it's not a problem, until the version of you that says, that's not who I chose to be.
Interesting.
So when you fail, it's not you, the awareness, that fails. It's the failure of you that fails. It's you are just acting normal. This always happens. No, then you're always doing it. How do you even know? I'm in the river. Are you in the river? It's like telling the fish, asking the fish, so what's water? What the hell are you talking about? The fish is always the last one to know what water is.
Does the fish know anything?
Well, and then we try to compare the fish to the monkey, because we say, well, the fish is stupid. It can't climb. What? Fish don't climb.
They swim. But they do that automatic.
It's who they are. I heard a great story. Two twins are in the mother's womb. And one twin, who's kind of a pessimist, says, man, I don't want to leave. There's nothing after this. Well, how do you know? Well, because this is the only place we know. There can't be anything after this. Birth is death. There's nothing after this. But I hear something outside of us. Yeah, but that's just, you're hearing that in your head. Well, I hear this term, I hear this voice of mother. Yeah, but I don't know. Well, how do you know she's not out there? Well, I don't know. I hear it, but I don't think it's out there. It's got to be something in. He says, but how do you know then that nothing exists? Well, I don't know. I haven't been there. Well, what happens if you leave this place? Where are you going to? I don't know. Is it better or worse? I don't know. What if it's better? What if we got closer to mother? And it's this perspective of these two twins having this fictitious dialogue. But we think about that as transformation. What if the place you're seeking is better than where you're at? Yeah, but I don't know. I'd have been there a long time ago. No, you have to be birthed. You have to be gestated. You have to grow someplace in a safe space, and you've grown safe in this current identity. What happens if love, the greatest love on the planet, is waiting for you? Yeah, but I always find crappy relationships. They always turn out to be a jackhole 30 days, 60 days after. So it's not even worth it. I wouldn't pay attention to that story anymore. The greatest love on the planet is seeking you, because what you are seeking is seeking you. And when you let go, nothing is ever gained by grasping it. Try to grasp a handful of water. As soon as you close your fist around it, you lose all the water. As soon as you close, I'm going after this. This is mine. It's gone. It's not even there. It's when we literally let go. How many of us have ever just said, okay, I'm done, and the thing you sought showed up? Literally, almost instantly.
Yes.
And that's where Heather was. Heather let go of this DMP bull crap. Oh my God. If he tells me one more time, you heard her say it, right? I'm going to give this 30 days. Are you kidding me?
Yes, she did say that. She put a limit on it.
Right. I'm going to give it 30 days. It
Why?
worked in a day. You didn't even need to give it 30 days. What the hell do you need 30 days for? It proved itself in a day. I would never miss a day.
But why do you think she felt the need to
because her Terry said, all right, because she knows, Terry now knows that in one day she almost was made unimportant, her old version of her.
Oh.
And then we attacked it with the most powerful version of us, the lover. We think the king and queen are, the lover is the most important version. The lover is the most powerful archetype. Because here's the thing. Your heart says, I'm going to go do this. But as soon as your brain says, yeah, but the heart says, your wish is my command. The heart is the most unbelievable servant.
But I mainly think with my heart, not my mind.
No, you think with all your head. That's a lot. That's a big fib you're telling yourself. Because if you thought with your heart, you wouldn't argue with these people.
Well, they argue with me.
No, but they can't argue. They can't argue with you. They're arguing with your brain, and they don't argue with your heart.
I make a statement. I make a statement.
It doesn't matter. Listen, I could say things that would make you. I've said things that have pissed you off at me.
But I don't remember. But maybe.
Well, you got mad when Jane was going to do some things. You're like, oh my gosh, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, oh. I love Selka. I love when she talks to me.
I say what I think. So yes.
But see, that's you say what you think, not what you feel. That's two different things. You said, well, I operate in my heart. No, you just said I say what I think. If you say what you feel and you're in love, all you could say is, I love you. That Chuck Hellhead that said whatever he said, you're the most blah blah. I love you. And then you listen for the explosion on the other side. I just yelled at you and said you're no good in this, that, and the other, and you love me. And then when they write back and they send even a longer rant, I love you.
Well, this particular person probably, you always say, are you ready for the love?
Yeah.
I don't think this person
that's okay.
Is open to accept any type of love from anybody.
The point is that they're testing you to see if you can still love them. You have asked the universe, send me a test to see if I can love people who are unlovable, who don't want love. I can love the unlovable. Doesn't mean because I love you doesn't mean because you don't love you, I have to not love you. That's crazy talk. I can't turn my love on for you and off for you and on for you and a little bit on for you and some on for you and a lot on for you. You get it all.
But don't you think you love some people more than others?
No, I love everybody. Oh, I love my family. I will do more for my family. I will do more for those who are closest to me, who have
But doing and loving is not the same thing, is
no,
it?
but because of the amount of time I've loved them, there's more connection. Now, listen, I say to people from the first time I meet you, hey, listen, I love you all. And
Yeah.
there's people who go, okay, well, yeah, thanks.
Yeah, there's many people that cannot say it back for some reason.
And that's okay. And I
It's
used
never
to,
been difficult for me to say it because, that's how I feel unless they jackhole right away, as you
yep,
say.
yep.
Most people aren't. Most people are, very good at
Well, they're not used to having love
jackholeness.
expressed. They're not used to having love expressed to them. And again, it's much harder for women. I can't imagine. I've never been a woman. I've been accused of being a woman many times, but I've never been a woman. And
I just was picturing you in a dress.
yes. Hi. So when you ladies say I love you to jackholes, oh man, she thinks I'm the cat's meow. No, I don't think you're the cat shit, but I doesn't mean I can't love you. So
You're funny.
so that's one of the big reasons one of the conversations I have with a lot of females is, well, how do I love without being you set it up? Hey, listen, I do business and my business is something that I love to do. So people who operate in my world experience a level of love that maybe isn't typical in business, but it's all business. I am all business and I love that. So we have to relate that part of the business in it so that guys, especially with attractive women, go, oh man, she thinks I'm hot. You're not even worth using any of my spit to see if you're hot. So anyway, there you go. Love it,
Well,
love it, love it.
thank you, thank you. I love you.
Love you too. I love you more.
Have an amazing day. No, I love you more.
I receive your more love. Hey, Zizi Francois. Good morning.
Hi. Okay. I'll be quick because I made it to work and I already
Okay.
started. But the conversation about the lovers kind of hit me very hard, especially when you talk about like I realized that I'm an detached lover in a relationship with an addicted lover,
Yeah.
and I don't feel like I started the relationship as a detached lover. If that makes sense.
Yep.
How are you?
So is this a new relationship?
No, the same one that I've been in.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, but I feel
Well,
like the person is addicted to my love,
yep.
which has caused me to be detached because a lot of it was like kind of controlling how I love or who I love or wanting to possess my love for
Conditional.
them.
Yeah, conditional.
Yes.
So what happens if you become the free lover? Meaning you break off this thing.
I don't know. More of concern of like the other individual and how they would react and how they would feel.
Is there anything you think you could do to make them be okay with it?
I don't know. 'Cause I feel like I've got to the point where I'm like, I can't reassure you enough.
Right. So does that sound like something you want to spend another 10 years trying to figure out? I'm not saying, hey, listen, hey, I was talking to my mentor this morning. I'm supposed to break up with you. I wouldn't suggest that because then,
Mhm.
right. But you need to take some space for yourself
Mhm.
and you need to decide do I listen? Because I was there for 3 years, 3 years.
We just hit
Two,
3 years.
2 years too long.
Yeah.
And one was almost 4 years.
Mm.
So that was 7 years of my life in the wrong place. And I could be, oh, you want to talk about jackhole? I was a jackass of massive proportions in that breakup. Because remember, I told y'all You don't know how vicious I've been to be this nice.
I feel that.
Yeah. I said something that to this day is still, whenever it's brought up in conversations of people who know what I said, they're like, I just can't see you saying that. It was, it's the most vicious thing I've ever heard anyone ever say to another human being. And it was 7 words, 6 words. So just be aware of you. Take some time for you. Because if you're aware of this, the addicted lover, unless they're willing to go through rehab, it's like living with a crackhead.
And I feel like it's like the more I pull away, the more they just latch on more.
Mm-hmm. Oh gosh, yeah.
It's like, okay.
Yep. Yeah. And yeah, that is, there's no way that gets any better until. Well, that's a crappy way to start a Thursday. Unless there's a level of freedom that says, okay, I need to be the empowered lover. And maybe you make the switch and see that your empoweredness adjusts and repairs his addiction.
Okay. How do you really be the empowered lover?
You love regardless.
Mm.
When they
Even when they piss you off?
they can't piss you off. Not if you're in love with you. See, because you're expecting them to act a certain way when you're in love. So I should get mad at the trees who haven't started blooming, and some have bloomed. So I should go love the trees on the ranch and go, oh, I love you. Thank you. You are the best. And you son of a bitch. I can't believe you haven't bloomed yet. I love all the trees. I love the branches. We had this heavy winds. There are more branches down across the ranch. I got to take one of the trailers, the big trailers, to go pick up all the branches. There's so many. I'm like, oh, look at the branches you shed they were dead branches for them to get blown off. But now when I look up at you, there's not going to be this branch that doesn't have any leaves. And I got to go, I got to get rid of that branch. You did it for me. I love it. Thank you. When you're in love, when you're the empowered lover and you are powered by love, nobody can tell you to turn it off. Car cuts you off. Aw, thank you for not hitting me. I love you. It's cray-cray until it's not. And the reason they're pissing you off is because of their addiction to try to get you to spend time with them.
And like try to control you to not be that free lover.
Exactly.
And it's just like, I just want the love for myself.
Yep.
Like, that's not the person that you met.
Right.
But I feel like that's the person I'm becoming.
So thank you. You're awesome are going to be some of the words you use. What a great perspective. Oh my gosh, I never looked at it that way. These are phrases you're going to learn.
Or like, isn't that fascinating? Yeah.
Isn't that fascinating? Tell me more about that. How did that thought come to that brilliant brain of yours? And you just watch the smoke pour out their ears because they're waiting for the argument.
How can I without
And that's how the universe works when it starts to cut out our signal. I love it.
Thank you.
Thank you. I love you. Appreciate you.
Love you too. Appreciate you all. Bye. Have a great day.
All right, everybody. There you go. There's your Thursday morning conversation on the lover. I'm your right, Debbie. Debbie loves everybody. Roar, 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 roar. I'm your head brain training. Learn to love yourself more, misfit. I'll see y'all where?
The next event.
At the next event. Somebody give me some loving Costa Rica.
Pura
Pura
vida.
vida.
Pura vida. And some loving Lydia.
Peace be with us.
And the queen who learned to love herself and teach others how to love themselves, Jessie Lee Ward.
Bossly.
Bossly in the little white fur that fluffs around and loved everybody.
Gurgly, gurgly,
Gurgly,
gurgly.
gurgly, gurgly.
We love you, Fee. All right, everybody. Have a great day. We'll see you all tomorrow morning. Until then, I love you bunches. Bye for now.
Love you.
Hey,
Thank
Sean.
you.
Thank you. I love you all. Have a great day.